guys, welcome back to CP Gaming, episode 4 of my TNA 2004. We are back after a great show, the last show. Jarrett once again holding onto the NWA World Heavyweight Championship thanks to another interference from Nelson Knight. Poor AJ Styles. What has he got to do to get a fair shot at that title? As you can see here, the King's Court, Jeff Jarrett, Nelson Knight. Are they coming unstoppable? We are at episode 4. As you can see there, it is Total Non-Stop Action NWA 92. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the show. Straight into a pre-show match that had subpar wrestling and little heat. Elite Skipper defeated Heavy Metal in 10 minutes by pinfall. Wrestling of 43, a crowd of 23, and a segment rating of 43. Heavy Metal had a 39, Elite Skipper a 47, and Elite Skipper was off his game. Getting a 47 off his game, it's pretty decent in my opinion. Yeah, Elite Skipper just still continue with the wins, so not much to say about this one. Nice pre-show match. In another pre-show match, a terrible pre-show match, Teddy Hart defeated Hector Garza in 10 minutes by pinfall with a triple bypass. Wrestling rating of 40, crowd rating of 21, segment rating of 42. Hector Garza had a 40, Teddy Hart had a decent 39. And the crowd was expectant and simmering. So a nice little win there for Teddy Hart. Hector Garza, it's not someone I really want to be pushing. He's just annoying me in this game so much. So any chance I can get to get someone over on him, they will be getting over. And tonight it was Teddy Hart. So well done, Teddy Hart. Let's keep pushing. And in our final pre-show match, we have decent reaction for the crowd but subpar wrestling. D'Lo Brown defeated Apollo in 10 minutes by pinfall with a sky high. Wrestling rating of 47, crowd rating of 35, segment rating of 50. D'Lo Brown had a 58, Apollo 36. What a performance from D'Lo Brown. Yeah, we'll take that. D'Lo Brown making a case for himself there. 58 rating. Maybe we need to have a quick look at, can we use him in the main roster? I know he did his thing with TNA later on in 2010-11ish when he became part of the Aces and Eights, but he was gone at that point. So yeah, maybe we could use him in this 2004 save. And just so you can see at the top, we have got 3,302 people here tonight. We kick off the show, and as always, it's the King's Court inside of the ring. And of course, Jeff Jarrett's got his mic, and of course, he's got his title. And he says, once again, I stand here, your champion. AJ just isn't smart enough to win this title, or beat me. I've had enough of him now. So who else is going to step up to the King's Court? Jarrett laughs and looks around to the crowd. There's this brief pause. And then we hear AJ's music hit, as you can see, a very frustrated Jeff Jarrett. AJ comes to the top of the ramp and he says, Jeff, you have only won because of Nelson's interference, and I'm sick and tired of this. So I reverted to our contracts, and in them it states a fair workplace. So I have gone to the powers that be. Yes, you may own TNA, but even you have to make sure things are done correctly. And these powers that be have agreed that whilst you are champion, you can't be booking matches, nor fully running the show. So they have appointed a new booker for the show. And he is here right now. Wow. Jarrett, as you can imagine, will be absolutely fuming at this. A new booker for TNA. Who do you think it is? Segment rating of 62, and it got the crowd hot and rising. Jarrett came across well. The commentary team lifted the segment. The angle got the crowd hotter. This angle got the show off to a strong start, and Nelson Knight is getting better at his gimmick, which is beautiful. What was it? Oh, I can't click in there, can we? I can't remember what his gimmick was. I think maybe adequate, wasn't it? But yeah, he's getting better at his gimmick, which is always good, which means more ratings. Who is the new booker? Dusty Rhodes is here. Is her. Is here as the new booker of TNA Wrestling. His American Dream music plays, and the crowd got absolutely mental. Jarrett doesn't look too impressed at all. Dusty Rhodes finally lifts the mic, and he says, TNA, baby. Are you okay there, Jeff? You look a little shocked. That's right. As AJ said, the executives have agreed someone needs to run the show fairly, and they chose me, baby. You may have started this little group, but from now on, I'm running things. And my first job is to inform you that you will be in action tonight in the main event in a non-title match against AJ Styles. Jeff Jarrett is bouncing around the ring. He's had about enough of AJ, and he's got to face him again tonight in the main event. Oh, and just to make things stay fair, Nelson Knight is banned from ringside. On one last thing, if AJ wins tonight, he gets another shot at that title around your waist. Dusty Rhodes is here, baby. 59 segment rating. He's debuted his American Dream gimmick and got adequate. Nelson Knight was underwhelming. Dusty Rhodes looked good. Dusty Rhodes improvised well throughout the segment. The commentary lifted the segment, and this angle got the crowd hotter, and we are now white hot with the crowd. We then move into a segment where we see Chris Kanyon. He's in the ring. And he says, last week, I made my TNA debut and I beat the great Jerry Lynn. Tonight, I issue an open challenge to anyone to come down and face me. 53 segment rating. So Chris Kanyon last week had a great debut against Jerry Lynn. Picked up his win. So yeah, who's going to step up and challenge Chris Kanyon? And it was none other than David Flair. And about they didn't have much heat and terrible wrestling, Chris Kanyon defeated David Flair in 6 minutes by pinfall with a I'm better than you. 38 wrestling rating, 32 crowd rating, and a 43 segment rating. Chris Kanyon had an in-ring debut of 53, and David Flair very poor 23. I got David Flair in on a one-night deal. I just wanted someone to use to get Kanyon over a bit further. And David Flair was that guy, a little quick. It's not really a squash match, but a quick match where he could, get a decent win. We'll take the 43. We then move into a number one contenders match for the X Division title, where we have Abismo, Chris Sabin, Low-Key, P.T. Williams, and the Amazing Red. And in a poor match, Low-Key defeated Chris Sabin, Abismo, P.T. Williams, and the Amazing Red in 9 minutes, when Low-Key pinned Abismo with a Warrior's Way. It was designed to revolve around a lot of high spots. P.T. Williams was the weakest link. 46 wrestling, 27 crowd, and a 53 segment rating. Abismo had a 51, Chris Sabin a 43, Low-Key a 47, Petey Williams a 34, and the Amazing Red a 54. So Amazing Red outdoing everyone, but low-key picks up the win, so he's now, again, the new number one contender for the X Division title. Commentary lifted the match. Colour commentary gave the match a boost, and Petey Williams benefited from having a hot new move. So Frankie Kazarian, who's been attacked 2 weeks in a row by Loki, will have to come up one-on-one with Loki and put his title on the line. We then get a video package where we see Monty Brown backstage. He's looking frustrated. He's got a mic in his hand, and he looks like he's got something to say. I have worked my ass off to get to where I am. Yet other people keep getting chance after chance after chance after chance. Well, it's about time I just took my own chance. He throws the mic down as he storms off. So it's seeming Monty Brown is getting a little annoyed that other people are getting title shots or having a chance at a title shot, but not him. 53 segment rating. We then go into a 3-on-3 match where we see the 3 Live Crew versus Team UK, and in a poor match, the 3 Live Crew defeated Team UK in 8 minutes when BG James pinned Robbie Dynamite with a dog pound. Robbie Dynamite was the weak link. 42 wrestling, 27 crowd, and a 54 segment rating. Conan had a 55, Ron Killings a 58, BG James a 52, Robbie Dynamite 21, James Mason 34, and Frankie Sloan a 34. Frankie Sloan and Dave Taylor are a good pairing, and they play off each other well. Well, that's a shame because the whole of the Team UK are gone in 3 days. So this was perfect to get the 3 Live Crew a nice little win. So yeah, Team UK contracts run out in 3 days. I'm not going to be renewing them, as because they don't really add much to the show, unfortunately. So they will be moving on. And Frankie Sloan slimmed off his game. They was the very early version of the British Invasion, and unlike Doug Williams and Magnus, or Brutus Magnus as he was known, not really cutting it. So the 3 Live Crew take the win. But after this match, both BG James and Conan leave the ring, leaving Ron Killings in there by himself. He throws his hands up in the air. Looking around at the crowd, he's looking all confused as BG James and Conan make their way back up the ramp and don't even turn around to acknowledge him. 75 segment rating. Absolutely brilliant. BG James improvised throughout the segment well. Conan did a massive job of improvising interaction with the crowd, and Ron Killings did a massive job of improvising interactions with the crowd. These 3 guys and angles are absolute dynamite. It's something we can use moving forward. But it looks like the tensions in the 3 Live Crew are still there. We're then moving to a match where we have the America's Most Wanted versus the Naturals, and about they didn't have much heat and terrible wrestling. America's Most Wanted defeated the Naturals in 7 minutes when James Storm pinned Andy Douglas with a death sentence. Chris Harris was head and shoulders above everyone else. Wrestling rating of 38, crowd of 29, and a segment rating of 47. James Storm 40, Chris Harris 50, Chase Stevens 35, and Andy Douglas 28. James Storm was off his game, and so was Andy Douglas. A lot of specialist bonuses there, and we know that these guys work well together because they are naturally tag teams that work together all the time. So America's Most Wanted pick up a win against the Naturals. But then after that match, we have the new franchise come out to the top of the ramp. They hold the titles high. We pan back to the ring where we see America's Most Wanted run their hands over their waist, indicating they want them titles. 59 segment rating. And I think this match, if it does go ahead and American Most Wanted do get a shot at the new franchise, I think it'd be great. I think this would be a great match if it's put together well and they're all on the game. I think, yeah, they could definitely tear the house down. The crowd's still very hot, which is what we like to see. We're then moving to the grudge match, where if you remember last week, Raven said him and Sabu would be taking on Abyss if he could find anyone to be his friend and come and tag with him. And he did find someone, and he found the Vampire Warrior. And in a decent match, Abyss and the Vampire Warrior defeated Raven and Sabu in 11 minutes when Abyss pinned Sabu with a black hole slam. Raven was head and shoulders above everyone else. 57 wrestling rating, 44 crowd rating, and a 57 segment rating. Sabu 46, Raven 77, Vampire Warrior a decent 40, Abyss getting better 63. Vampire Wars debuted his Vampire Warrior gimmick and he got an initial rating of adequate. The great performance of Raven really stood out, and Father James Mitchell did some good work at ringside. So again, Abyss getting one over on Raven and Sabu again taking the hit. Where do we go from here with this? Tune in next week, where I'm pretty sure Raven's going to have something to say. We then get a video package featuring Scott Hall. We see a video where Scott Hall is laid on a beach with some sunglasses on. He lowers them down as he's about to speak. TNA Wrestling. It's your resident bad guy here, Scott Hall. I've had some time to relax and I've been watching the show, and there's someone there I have no idea what I've written here, sorry. There's someone there and I want to come as I have my eyes on them. But I've written that all wrong, apologies. Basically, he turned around and said it's somewhere where he wants to come as he's got his eye on someone. You will see me real soon. Scott Hall is coming to TNA, but he hasn't said when and who's he got his eye on. Debuted is the bad guy gimmick and he got an initial rating of Paul, which is not good, but he clearly enjoyed going off the script and he performed well. 66 segment rating. I thought that would do better because he's actually great on the mic, but he's probably better at a live cutting a promo than a video. And I believe we are at that point for the main event. Can AJ finally get one over Jeff Jarrett? And if he does, he gets another shot at the title. In a bout that had great wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Jeff Jarrett defeated AJ Styles in 12 minutes by pinfall with the stroke, following interference from Bryan Adams. During the match, we also had Brian Clark run in and attack AJ Styles. Again, AJ has been screwed over. Nelson Knight banned from ringside, but Bryan Adams and Brian Clark, who are collectively known as Chronic, have attacked AJ Styles. Wrestling rating of 73, crowd rating of 53, and a segment rating of 78. AJ had a 69 and Jeff Jarrett a 76. Bryan Adams and Brian Clark have both debuted the badass gimmick and they both got an initial rating of great. So once again, Jeff Jarrett finds a way to screw over AJ Styles. And what does that mean? Is Chronic part of the King's Guard? King's Guard. The King's Court. Maybe they could be guards. They could be called the King's Guard rather than Chronic. That's a thought, isn't it? I'm sure we'll find out in the next episode. We finished the show with a 71 rated show. Again, decent enough. It increases our popularity in 11. I can't speak again. 11 regions. We will take it. We love it. We're moving forward very, very quickly here. We finish the show. We won't address the locker room. We'll skip that. There was no injuries. Financial report. The last show we made 112. I think it was $120,000. Got us back up to 980. We dropped back down to about 911 with workers that are on exclusive contracts. Do we make money on this one? We only make £95,000 on this one. But we are back to $1 million, which is great because that's where we started, and we're back £722 in profit from the start of the game. We will take that 100%. Popularity, we have not moved up anywhere, but that means we've moved up a little bit in all of these regions, which is good because we need to build the whole of these. If we can get that quite high, these naturally the spillover will happen, and we are not going to do a media scrum. Guys, hope you like this episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Get your thoughts in there. Come on, someone must have some thoughts on this. What do you reckon to Chronic turning up? What do you reckon to Dusty Rhodes? Where are we going to go with Raven and Abyss? Let me know in the comments. Again, appreciate everyone that watches, appreciate everyone that likes, appreciate everyone that is even just having a look at my little YouTube channel. So until next time, guys, I've been CP Gaming.